Welcome to the weather forecast for the week beginning Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. This is Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth for Longmont Public Media, and I'm coming to you from a workroom at school because we are setting up classrooms now. Tuesday, August 8th is our next lunar phase of note, 46% visible in the early morning sky, last quarter moon. The sun is pretty active still. We had a big cluster here moving off the edge. We had a coronal mass ejection hit this morning and lots of aurora activity and like that. Don't think we had any satellite outages. It wasn't that big, but we're still very active. A new spot coming around here from the other side. 2 weeks ago, we had zero drought. Last week, we had some abnormally dry conditions slipping in, and now we have a moderate drought in a couple spots. Pointed this out that it's been a month or more since we've had any significant rain over there. A little bit has now occurred. Overall, though, the nation is largely doing well. We saw this Midwest dry spot, but it's not horrible. Going to this week, a little more drought in southern Arizona, New Mexico, and sneaking into our southwestern corner. Smoke. We still have some fires up in Canada and smoke being brought around in the circulation. We're pretty close to smoke-free right now, so that's nice. Looking at precipitation, here is the rain that did occur, a little monsoonal stuff that went on the western side of the mountains, but still the mountains themselves in the eastern plains are the winners when it comes to precipitation, with 2 to 3 inches across large areas. We have a problem here at school with little frogs hopping around and getting into the building. So we had moths in the spring and frogs now, so lots of moisture. Looking at our animation for severe weather expectations into May, there's the peak in June, July, and then August, and the second week in August, it really starts to fade down, but it's not gone yet. We still expect severe weather, and we still are getting it. For Thursday, we had a marginal risk right down to I-25, slight and enhanced just off to our east. For Friday, it's still kind of close, and when Friday actually arrives, it may be further back, closer to I-25. He's usually a little conservative, a day or two out. Same thing on Saturday. It's not far away. We still have a chance of severe just beyond the airport. That might come back to I-25 when we get to Saturday. So for Thursday, we have chance of storms, severe out east of us. For Friday, still storms, Denver northeastward, and very similar on Saturday. You can see there's a cool down coming for the weekend. Our normal temperatures are dropping from 89 to 88, 60 to 59. So here we go. This is the beginning of the drop towards winter. A little increased chance of storms over the weekend. We'll see why. We have lots of dry air to the southwest, but still good moisture being pulled in from the Gulf and circulating through the north central Rockies. Not much notable here in the upper level patterns. We have this ridge still down here. It's being squashed, and this little trough going by on Sunday, and this northwest flow over the state, or west-northwest flow, is going to cool us down a little bit. And then by Tuesday next week, we'll have some as yet unnamed tropical system down here, and the ridge kind of coming back over the mountains. But we will have northwest flow, so get a ripple in the afternoon, heating and moisture. Might see storms at any time. So let's put this in motion. Watching this big ridge. This is really the source of the heat over the nation. Is just down here. We're going to see a big cool down over much of the nation for at least the early part of the week. So there goes the ridge. There's a tropical system coming up, and it doesn't just go off to Hawaii. It actually falls apart and puts its moisture into the west. See how it just lingers over here? It's caught up in this trough. And there's the ridge really going to town over New Mexico. Us being on the north side of it, we'll see warm temperatures again. So let's watch this coolness here. There's a blob of cool coming down Saturday. You can see afternoon thunderstorms. Cold front comes down over the weekend. Almost makes it into North Texas. It tries. And lots of cool air in the Midwest, down in the Northeast. There's our ridge trying to get back in the west, heat up down there. There's some cool air up here, and another shot of cool coming into the northern Great Plains and the Great Lakes. And our ridge comes back in the west by next weekend. So taking a look at moisture, the moisture is confined to and only returns to the eastern side of the state. It kind of comes and goes. Here's this tropical system coming through. Keep an eye on all this moisture with it. This is precipitatable water. It's dry for the early part of next week. And then you can see there's a front coming in. There's a low up here. This moisture just kind of gets unloaded in the west and then starts making it into Colorado by next weekend, and then moisture all across the western part and central part of the nation. Looking at surface moisture, you can see into the weekend we're 40s and 50s, so still very high moisture down here. Here's the dry air coming in, and for the first part of next week we do see some 20s, 30 dew points coming in. Moisture is not far away. But yeah, really super dry air. And then by the end of next week, 40s, 50 dew points start coming back. Yeah, so the moisture kind of takes a break in the early part of the week and out. Taking a look at the actual precipitation, future forecast. See, afternoon storms are possible almost every day. The coverage and intensity changes each day, but here it is for Tuesday. It forms much further east where the deeper moisture is. Wednesday we get a break. Thursday next week, dry. Friday next week, still dry. And then you start to see a little bit of showers and stormy activity come back next weekend. So for the next 5 days, again, precipitation only in the eastern part of the nation. Over the next 10 days, not much happens in the west. So we'll see the dry conditions continue to develop on the southwest and western part of the state. So we finish the middle of the week in the 90s. We get over the weekend, we drop to the 80s and then 70s on Sunday. Sorry if you're hoping for a pool day over the weekend, it won't feel that great. And then we start to climb back to the 90s, but it's going to get harder to hit peak heat. I don't think, I have to look this up, I think we've seen hundreds nearby, but I don't think Longmont or the airport actually broke 100 this year. I'm not sure. It might have happened when I was on vacation. So check out Longmont Leader and Broomfield Leader for frequent weather updates and great local news stories. This has been Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth. Keep looking up.